Welcome to another episode 23 of the It's Build Me podcast, where all things professional wrestling news, all that jazz. We got you guys covered.
And trust me when I say this. Holy shit! There's a lot of news again. So like third, fourth straight week. And sorry we didn't do a podcast episode the last 2 weeks. Somebody decided to stream games the last 2 weeks covering the time slot.
But what's good, Liam? Appreciate you tuning in, man.
Yeah, what's good? But yeah, there's a lot of news. First thing is one of the most shocking news stories I've heard ever. History of wrestling. Vince McMahon is no more. He is retired. What are your thoughts on this, Rob?
Like, my brain, when I saw the news, was like, man, I'm thinking to myself, is this legitimately real right now?
I saw this on a TikTok, bro. It was either a TikTok or an Instagram post. Somebody like screen captured the damn tweet. I went to go look and see if the tweet was real. It was real. And I just stared at the tweet for like a good minute and a half. I'm like, this can't be real.
It really.
But yeah. And now reports are coming out that, you know, the FBI and everybody else is like they forced him into it, which I'm not shocked by.
Yeah.
Because you know that man was probably not going to want to retire. He was going to wait until he died for somebody else to take the reins.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of taking the reins, his daughter ended up taking the CEO spot.
I had a feeling that it was.
And his son-in-law is creative.
Well, I mean, we all knew how great creative Triple H truly is. I mean, we saw when he directed NXT before the
from 2014 to 2021, freaking NXT was top tier.
It was top tier. It was actually watchable. It was like must see television.
It was literally the only watchable thing that we had at the time. Because Vince did not know what the hell he was doing anymore when it came to the main roster and all this other stuff. And now there's reports that Bruce Pritchard's gone, which I don't even know if it's true or not.
Thank God.
Thinking about it, I don't even know. Is he gone? Is he not gone? Because I've been seeing conflicting reports that he's fired, and then he's not fired, and then I don't know. Hopefully he's gone. And then now there's other reports. A long list of stuff, Rob. Long list of stuff. There's also reports that Kevin Dunn and Stephanie McMahon have beef with each other.
Yeah.
They don't like each other. And I don't even blame Stephanie in this. It's Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn's a douchebag.
That's not just that too. You also think too. Freddie Prinze Jr. also came out and said something about Kevin Dunn too.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr., who I think is a credible source because he was backstage. He was working backstage for I think an episode of Raw. I think.
Yeah, I think
he co-wrote like a few episodes of Raw. He was backstage, and and Kevin Dunn was basically saying a woman in WWE should not be champion if she's pretty. That's like if you're not pretty, you're not deserving of a championship. That shit should not matter.
That really shouldn't.
It should not matter. It should be your goddamn ability in the ring, and if you can cut a promo.
Pretty much. I mean, we've seen shit. I mean, there's countless perfect examples. I mean, and at times, I mean, we're seeing like with the women's division. I mean, the fact that. And the fact that in some of the creative team has really not given some of the other women a chance. I mean, we talked about, you know, Liv Morgan is a prime example of 6 goddamn years of, you know, being put on the back burner Throwing
But
into
here's the
this.
thing
Throwing,
that automatically discredits Kevin Dunn's, or that automatically doesn't discredit Kevin Dunn, because Liv Morgan's pretty.
not just
He's basically saying people who are like not physically attractive should be champion,
which is fucked
which is
up.
bullshit. It's bullshit. It's fucked up. It's backwards.
Completely ass backwards. Let's put it that way.
Completely backwards. And I wouldn't even be shocked if Kevin Dunn was the one that actually okayed the Saudi Arabia deal initially. With his backwards ass.
But really, looking at the company as a whole, like, yeah, we would tell you that, someone asked us, Vince McMahon retire. We would say, that's good, like that's some utter bullshit, because that's something Vince McMahon would not have done. However, with all this shit,
if this whole allegation thing would not take place,
we wouldn't be talking about this.
He wouldn't even be retired if the allegations were not out there.
Absolutely.
If he didn't go sleep with these women, paying hush money, and then paying an extra like $16 million after that, which honestly was found internally by the company itself.
Ooh.
Which that makes it sting a lot more. And this was found after he retired. But if he didn't do all of this shit and have all these allegations against him, and it being true, and it's being found to be true as the investigation progresses, he would not be. He would probably die in the chair, in the chairman's chair.
And I was gonna think too. We speculated, say, what was the original amount prior to all this? Was like what, less than like $2 million? I think it was at the time.
It was $3 million. I think it was $3 million.
I think just slightly over $3 million. Then
slightly over $3 million, and then it came out that he was paying $16 million,
almost
extra,
almost a little over 14 and a half. It's like you can't be serious. Like I was like literally shaking my head. Said this cannot. Like
no, in total, it wasn't 14. It wasn't 14 million. It was literally almost 20 million.
Oh,
it was 3 million plus an extra 16.
Like still, like it's
like come on, like you're telling me this motherfucker ain't guilty. And the thing is, and what's bad about it? The 16 million were paid expenses from the company's money.
Yeah, and this is where my thing is. It's like if I'm a stockholder, I would say.
Here's the thing: it wasn't just the FBI that forced him to retire; too, the stockholders.
Because that was going to bring down the company with him when it comes to the stock.
Yeah, if he didn't retire, the stock market's going to plummet in his side.
Oh yeah,
it's going to plummet. He's going to lose money. The company's going to be no more. He had to retire at that point. Because that's why I say if the allegations didn't happen, he wouldn't be losing. He probably would have never retired. Let's face it.
Yeah, and
he's going until he dies. But this money situation, losing company money, him losing company goddamn money to pay off these women who he slept with, having an affair with.
And there's going to potentially be a divorce between the.
I think they're already done for. They're already done for.
And if I'm Linda, I don't blame Linda one goddamn bit. I mean, I really truly would.
And the thing is, I feel bad for her. She's like the kindest lady ever.
Even though there are times she does get the hate that she gets in years past, but looking at her from the outside,
the only hate that she got was her becoming a politician and making the company PG. That's it.
But it's just,
oh, screw you for going and becoming a politician because my company is PG now. So,
but yeah, it's Oh, and we got a fellow reviewer coming back, Mr. Nightings himself. What's good, bro?
Nightings, he's the number one fan, bro. He's the
Mm-hmm.
number one fan. But
Hey, yeah, but that's a very good. That's a good observation, and really looking at it, and what I technically not to mention even Stephanie and Nick Khan are the co CEOs of the
I
company.
really don't see Khan making much of a difference. It's more so Stephanie.
Because
It's more so Stephanie because if it wasn't more so Stephanie, then I think Nick Khan is just on the side. It's more so Stephanie because if it wasn't like the majority of it being Stephanie, Triple H would not be creative.
that is true.
So it's more so Stephanie than Nick Khan. Nick Khan, you could write him off. He's not full on. I feel like here's how I see this. It's Stephanie until Stephanie either gets sick or is hurt and can't make the show. Then it's Nick Khan filling in. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
But it's the majority of it. It's Stephanie. So that's why I didn't mention his name.
and
He's basically put it this way, Rob. He's basically the backup to Stephanie.
yeah. Okay, I could put it in. It's like he's like you can put it in the sports terms for those who don't not know what we're talking about. He's like the backup quarterback in football. Let's put it.
Yeah, he's basically the second string when it comes to the CEO thing.
And we did talk about this. I think I don't know if we ever touched upon it, and we kind of think like who's going to be the CEO? It's like could it be Triple H or Stephanie?
The thing is, I kind of like that it's Stephanie and not Triple H because Triple H didn't want the job anyway. He wanted creative. He wanted to make stories for the team.
He knows how to write good stories, though.
He wants to generate stories. He wants to put the product out there.
I also heard that Paul Heyman might be on part of creative, which I'm okay with that because I think he knows how to put.
When he was on creative
genius.
When he was on creative initially for that one Raw was not that bad.
No, it was actually really well produced.
It was really well produced. Things were moving along smoothly. I wouldn't even be shocked if he was there for that Monday night show for Triple H's first night.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't even be shocked
because you really think about it. Because the thing is to like, yeah, he may be like not just a creative genius. Like he knows how to really motivate. Like say people who are trying out for the company. Like he's kind of like that.
Motivated Brock. He motivated.
What the hell? Fuck! I'm drawing. Shit. I'm drawing a blank right now. That should.
He motivated Brock. He motivated a lot of other talent. CM Punk. He motivated a lot of talent.
And you really think about this too. Get credit. Look, I'll give Paul Heyman some credit because you really think about it, without Paul Heyman, there would have been no Brock Lesnar. So, and think about it too, like the company could have ruined Brock Lesnar and not be the next big thing he was known. Back then,
they were gonna have Paul Heyman manage Chris Benoit instead of Brock.
God, history would have been a lot different than it would have been.
And but Paul Heyman, when he was talking in like one of his shows or whatever, seminars, and he would say, I wanted Brock. I did not want Benoit. I wanted to manage Brock because I saw potential in him.
The kid, and the fact that he also wants to say, like they want him to become a Russian, all this. It's like, what the fuck?
They wanted him to become a goddamn Russian. Honestly, if they would have went that route, he'd have been out of the company in like a few months.
Yeah,
in a few months, he'd be out of the company.
Oh, absolutely, because it's like this is why I think sometimes I feel like Paul Heyman. Hey, look, sign me up for that because from what I'm here. I mean, I did watch the replay of Raw. I thought it was and this is the surprising part. Yeah, we all know that Raw has been a dumpster fire for years because of poor writing and all this shit. But
the only segment I didn't really care for was the Logan Paul Miz segment. The rest of that show,
actually, I thought was pretty. I thought it was a solid show.
Freaking good, really freaking good. I did like the fact that they had a couple brawls in there too. Logan Paul, Miz brawl, the backstage brawl with goddamn Judgment Day and Rey Mysterio, and then I mean they added a lot of excitement to it on Monday.
Which we haven't really seen in let's keep it real in years.
It's been all right. You had the 2 hours, which is usually decent. Then that third hour is just a snooze fest.
Yeah.
Every single hour this past Monday was actually exciting. Me and Bully literally sat there and watched an entire Raw.
Yeah.
On stream. Entire Raw. He said on his show on his show and to us in the group chat, he usually needed 3 people.
Yeah, and that should tell you, like,
he had one. That was me. I was in there for the second hour show. I don't know if he had somebody in the first hour. I have to rewatch his stream.
I think last time I watched, I think it was just you and him.
For that second and third hour, it was just me and him.
And this is where I think if I'm Stephanie, I'm looking at, say, because you have, SmackDown for 2 hours. You had, was it NXT 2 hours?
You have SmackDown 2 hours. NXT is 2 hours because it goes from 8 to 10, both shows.
Well, why not?
And then you have Raw going from 8 to 10 or 8 to 11.
Like I said, I just cut that third hour because you really think about it, because you can add a lot more content in 2 hours than what you do in 3.
And the funny thing is, I was watching the Stone Cold podcast or the Stone Cold Broken Skull, whatever.
The Broken Skull sessions.
The episode with Triple H. And he said the same freaking thing. Just cut the third hour.
Because, I mean, if you really think...
Because he says that third hour is hard to write. And
yeah.
you could see it. You could see it in the third hour when it was Vince's show.
Yeah,
that third hour was lacking because it was hard to, put content in that third hour.
Yeah, I mean, you really think about this too. Let's go back to the 2000s, like through the Ruthless Attitude era.
The Raw was from 9 to 11. It was 2 hours.
2 hours. All great, good shows.
No, they were all good shows. And the thing is, if you watched the show, everything had a purpose. Whether it's a small TV feud, for Raw that night, or
it goes into SmackDown,
SmackDown. No, there was no SmackDown then, or there was SmackDown, but it was split, 2 brands. Whether it's a show for, a small segment that leads to a match at that night's Raw, or if it's a match because something happened on last week's Raw, which is like a 2-week feud, but like 2 smaller wrestlers.
Oh yeah,
to fill in time, it made sense. A lot of filler matches now are just filler matches. It doesn't make sense. You're just having a match just for the sake of having a match. There's nothing that ties into what happened last week. There's nothing that ties into, whatever. Like that. But back then, you had segments that led to a match that next week that made sense. Or you have segments, tag team matches leading into a pay-per-view, which makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or singles matches leading to a pay-per-view. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, because it should tell you, like, and you looked at, what Raw was, throughout 2016 and what good chunk of 2022. Yeah, it was not great. I mean, the fact that now Stephanie, and this is where I'll praise Stephanie a lot. The fact she wants to focus more on give the women more time.
She basically went to bat for these women.
Like
she's basically the one that actually did start the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. Because she said it. She said it on live television. Give Divas a chance. And we put the hashtag.
Oh, yeah, that shit was fucking striking. And you really think about it, too, because there's some potential in the women's division. Yes, I know the women's division ain't great.
For sure. You have women like Rhea Ripley. You have women like Nikki Cross. I'm not calling her Nikki ASH because that's a she.
No.
Who has potential, but the name sucks.
Yeah,
that's it. The name sucks, but
it should be fine.
Well, just change her name to something else. You don't even have to use Piper.
Or if I'm Stephanie, just go right back to Viper. Plain and simple.
Here's the thing: you don't have to use that name because that name ain't
right.
She doesn't. Here's the reason why they have the name changes, Rob. They don't want the name trademark. That's the reason why they changed the name.
Right.
They don't have to use their name that they used in the indies.
Right.
It took me a while to get why, and it used to piss me off. Why are they changing their name? Their name was perfect. It's because
But
they
look,
don't have the name trademarked. Why do you think that Killer Cross wasn't used as Killer
Right.
Cross? He did
that
not
was
want it. He did not want to be used as Killer Cross because they were going to trademark that name.
because I know that was his Impact name.
And half of the time, they usually give wrestlers a list of names that they want them because they think, okay, you're going to change your name. Give me a list of names that you want to use and whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes it ain't WWE's doing why the name change. So Doudrop may be her doing.
Yeah. But still, man, if you had a better name on paper than Doudrop, then damn it. But and this is not just that too. And if this, like, even though we see what Leah or Liv, my apologies, had a brain fart there. I did not. I said Leah. I didn't mean I combined Rhea and Liv in all into one. And it's like, God damn! I just realized. I just picked up on it.
My dude, did you watch too many people wanting them two together?
I don't know, but going back to let me rehash what I had to say. This also applies to Liv Morgan. Yes, I know has as the women's champion, but she has that characteristics of being like no matter if it's SmackDown or a Raw Women's Champion, and it's like we've been asking it for years.
We've asked since she got called up in 2016, and I agree calling her champion in 2016. That is kind of pushing it because she just got called up. So I would say around 2018 we were saying give her the title.
Yeah,
give her the title.
Was thinking the exact same thing.
And they just want to do it. And the thing is, we were saying give her the tag titles then. She was in a tag team. Give her the tag titles. Give her the tag titles. Nope. Then she got split up. Give her the women's title. Nothing happened. Now what happens?
You're not checked our reactions. That should tell you the entire goddamn story.
Go on my TikTok. You will see us flip.
Because
it's like, and the thing is, it's not just that she finally became champion after being put on the back burner for like 4 or 5 years. It's because she's from Jersey. She's one of us.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of us, and she's finally a champion, and it's awesome. As a guy from Jersey, as two guys from Jersey, mind you, we love seeing people from Jersey win. Honestly, we love that. So seeing Liv Morgan win the title, awesome.
And besides, to me, she's like really over with the fans. So that's
over, dude. Her first damn night coming out with the belt, the damn crowd damn near screamed.
And here's the positive. She finally has. And you think about it too. She didn't have her own side plates up to this point, which was kind of annoying.
But the thing is, though, it wasn't anybody's fault.
Right.
You know how the damn postal service is.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
they're taking their sweet ass time shipping it. So I don't even think it was WWE's fault. It was just a shipping company that was being a dick.
So as we can do a recap, whoever thought Vince McMahon at 77 will finally call it fucking quits, which makes us most of us happy. Thank fucking God. At least WWE can be actually watchable.
And the thing is, people are like, "Oh, you better give Vince respect. He gave us the WWE. His father did. Okay, Vince. Yeah, Vince made it mainstream and he made it cool and made it national. But him doing what he did, to cause an investigation on him. Actually, no, it's not his first investigation. It's his second in 2 decades.
Yeah.
Because remember in the 90s, the steroid trial? Oh, yeah. We didn't say about that either.
Yeah, well, that was late. Yeah, that was like early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s.
No, that was I think it was like 92 or 93.
That's what I'm saying, early 90s, like between 92 and 93. Because if you think about it, that's also.
The steroid trial happened, and then now this shit happened. And the thing is, the steroid trial, yeah, it was bad. He gave wrestlers drugs that could kill them. But let alone kill other people. which honestly he should have been arrested for.
Yeah, for distribution and
Should have been arrested for drug dealing. He was
yeah,
dealing
well,
drugs. That's what he was doing. He's a drug dealer. He's a drug dealer, and now he commits adultery and pays company money to hide it. And you're telling me I should respect him? He lost all my goddamn respect. I don't give a damn.
I think he lost respect to everybody.
No, because some of these older guys, oh, you should respect him. Shut up. You're probably ones that would cheat on your wives too, so shut the hell up.
Yeah, and really, and this is too like, the fact that we have, let's see, Bruce Richard might be out the door. That's really that's not confirmed as we were streaming, but take that speculation like we said with a grain of salt. But we know that Kevin Dunn's already out the door.
So I kind of jumped the gun because then there's like other reports saying they didn't leave. Like I don't know.
But we'll keep you up. We'll keep you guys updated on that.
Also, we'll keep you updated on if Kevin Dunn does get fired because it doesn't look good for him because he's got beef with the boss.
Yeah,
not looking good for him. Definitely cut your losses.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Cut your losses. He hates people like you, women. He hates people like you, and you need to get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean,
and stuff.
You could definitely perfect example like how he treated what's her name, Mickey James on her way out, put her shit in a garbage bag.
No, that was not Kevin Dunn.
No, that was what the hell?
That was another guy that ultimately got fired for it because he was just a dick. That guy that they had was a dick, so they fired him. But that wasn't Kevin Dunn. That was some other guy. Who I forgot the name of, and I probably will not name if I knew the guy's name.
No, I think at this point he should be just an unknown asshole. That's pretty much what it is.
He's just unknown asshole number one. He's asshole number one. There's a lot of assholes in WWE.
But yeah, it's like, oh, right, too. And for those who are in the Philadelphia area, we got some big news.
WrestleMania
2024
coming to Philadelphia on 2024. What was it? April 5th and 6th or 6th or 7th?
Yeah, it's a 2-night event in Philly.
Is it 6th or 7th? Is it 6th and 7th or 5th or 6th?
7th. Oh, shit.
Okay, I got it wrong. I said 5th.
I might have to double check on that because all I know is
the first time since 1999. I was a goddamn infant last time. I was a goddamn infant. I don't even think I was barely even one yet.
I was 2 years old when WrestleMania was last time in Philadelphia. That should tell you.
1999. The Rock was still wrestling. Mankind was still wrestling. Stone Cold was still wrestling.
Yeah, you saw Stone Cold wrestle.
Kurt was still wrestling.
Yeah.
You had guys like goddamn Viscera wrestling. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You had guys like Test wrestling.
Who? Let's be real.
Wrestling.
Or, oh geez, yeah. Albert, then before that abomination, what became
the last? And put it this way: the last time WWE had a WrestleMania in Philly, WWE was not even WWE yet.
No, it was still it
was still WWF.
This was like what before the entire fucking lawsuit between like the World Live.
This was like 3 years before the lawsuit. It was like 1999, so it was like 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years
before the lawsuit. This was 1999. This is before the lawsuit even happened.
And
so WWE was not even WWE by the time the second WrestleMania in Philly happened. The last time WrestleMania in Philly happened, they were WWF.
Yeah, and you really think about it too. It's just like all those who grew up through the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression, like all in one. Well, actually, no, the Ruthless Aggression was early 2000s. I forgot about that.
Ruthless Aggression was 02 to 08. Mid 08.
I know. I caught.
I used to think once they went HD that they were TV 14 or TV PG. No, it was not until July.
Yeah,
but it was a lot tamer. A bit of a tamer 214. There was still blood, but there wasn't like a lot of the sexualization or wasn't a lot of blood.
Shit.
a lot of
And
blood or anything, but there was a lot of
Josh on
hardcore
TikTok
violence.
said it best. It's like if you go back to the '90s, shit
Oh my
was
God.
not great.
No,
Woo!
the thing is, I'm kind of when I heard the reports that WWE may be T14, and this was under the Vince regime still, I was scared.
Like it's
I'm like, WWE is about to be no more if they go T14 under Vince.
Nah, I mean,
Under Stephanie and Triple H, I could see them going T14 without being sexual with it.
if that was the case, I mean, yeah, I'm all for that.
I could see more along the lines of like how AEW is doing it under
yeah,
Stephanie and Triple H. I could see more of like an AEW type tamer T14.
yeah, but not like
you have blood and stuff. Yes, you have a lot of hardcore violence, a lot of cursing, but you don't have a lot of sexual shit.
Not like what
women stripping to their goddamn bra and panties.
Oh Jesus!
Bra panty matches.
Don't remind me. Oof, I had
dude. I saw, dude. You know how goddamn they had a bra and panties match? I think at SummerSlam one year. Like Ashley Massaro and somebody else. No, Jillian Hall.
Oh God!
You know how they celebrated that win? Painting Ashley.
No.
Like, what the fuck?
No, like for those who are not we're talking about, if you didn't, because the ruthless aggression or the attitude era, I should say, back in the '90s, and somehow, and I'll admit this too, some of the shit I got away with watching as a kid, it's like,
dude, after that, like I've said this numerous times on our show, WrestleMania 2 goddamn thousand.
Oh God. Don't bring that.
I literally had my eyes. My eyebrows.
Literally, they're not trying to hide the fact. It's like
there was a segment. There was a segment where they had the fucking cat backstage with wearing nothing. And
like they had a shirt with a picture of a cat. And I was like, you realize that
right to the crotch, and it's something else like kind of like symbolizing boot.
Like something like that. Like they're not hiding the fact that they're still
sexualizing. They were hiding shit back then. I look at Rob, I'm like, you got away with this shit? He goes, yeah.
Like, exactly. Yeah, back in 2000. And this is that time, yeah. And back then was actually really wild. Like there was like no peace.
It was batshit wild.
It was like the wild.
Luckily, my era was like slightly tamed, but not much.
Slightly tamer.
Slightly, but not much because there's still a lot of sexual shit happening, which I don't like to watch now. I usually just, fast forward.
Yeah.
Past that shit now because I hate that shit. I hate that shit as a kid, honestly.
Well, looking back at it, because if you look back at it through Peacock, like you cringe at the shit.
I watched a segment. It was like a Halloween episode of fucking SmackDown.
Oh God.
Where they
I know what you're talking
for about. Apples. It was like the Divas. It was Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie.
Oh God! Don't remind me.
And literally, Dawn Marie dives into fucking things, takes off her fucking top, revealing nothing.
I'm like,
what the
fuck is that? Like exactly, because like it gets to the point where it's just like the 2000s were like the wild west on television, especially in the WWE, anyways.
That's what a lot of wrestlers has said. WWE back in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era was the wild west. It was unlawful. It was like there was no laws. The FCC didn't do shit to them.
Yeah, that is.
And the thing is, the thing is, when I look back at watching like classic Raw and SmackDown from when I was a kid, I'm like shocked and baffled.
Exactly.
How the FCC didn't catch wind of this shit.
Or back in the 90s.
Even then too. But the thing is, SmackDown was on a local goddamn station back then.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Usually they're strict when it comes to local stations showing sexual shit.
Or for the
cable TV can get away with a lot of that shit.
Oh yeah, cable TV.
There's a lot of TVMA shows on like AMC and stuff.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of mature shit on there, which is fine. It's cable. But like you have SmackDown on freaking UPN back in the day. Remember UPN?
Oh my God, good old
now
UPN.
CW now because UPN and WB and shit like that.
Oh my God!
It was on a classic station. You kids don't know this. You kids don't know this. It was on UPN. It was basically CW before CW existed.
Yes. Oh God.
And before they went teen oriented and whatever.
Yeah, and all the shit. Yeah, but
I was shocked UPN didn't do shit. The only time they did shit was the Muhammad Hassan thing that happened in 05.
At the worst possible time, too.
Worst possible goddamn time. I don't even know why WWE got away with the shit initially with the
And
character.
we talked about this. We talked about that on the last episode.
And the sad part is, and the sad ending to that is they killed off the character, then fired the guy who made the character. He's not at fault. Why'd you fire him? Just repackage the guy.
Exactly. Because even say, and this is at the time, oh God. Let's just say it was, like we said, it's the worst possible time, but I'm not going to say this was what, 2006?
What, the Muhammad Hassan thing?
Yeah.
No, it was like 05 or something. No, yeah, it was 06.
It was 06.
Because they killed off Muhammad Hassan at Great American Bash 06. I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so basically we can put this in the how do I go about phrasing this a little bit? Because this oh God,
heinous, disgraceful, stupidest decision ever.
Like,
might I go on?
Yeah, let's just say though, it was like a tragic event that happened 5 years prior to all this shit.
It was a flaming dumpster fire inside of a car that had crashed onto a telephone pole.
Like that's like, but like we said, yeah, it's just like, and I will say too. I mean, the fact that watching Raw, despite that few bad spots here and there. I mean, I thought Triple H, done a really good job writing the show.
Dude, honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed that Raw. I'm like,
which is very shocking to say.
And the thing is, me and Gully just sat there after Raw with a stun. We were like, did we just enjoy this?
Yeah, because we all know how Raw was.
It was really good because we didn't enjoy it. We haven't enjoyed a Raw since like what, 2012?
Something like that.
Collectively, as wrestling fans, like every wrestling fan has not enjoyed Raw since CM Punk was there.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's just
that was like 2011, 2012. And the thing is, Raw has been so shitty.
Yeah,
the last few years, man.
Yeah,
and the thing is, we finally got it, and we finally got a good Raw under a new regime. You finally
get it right after all these years. It's like
we can right the ship.
Well,
Stephanie and Triple H, I love you guys.
And I think we should put this to the test. If Raw can have good shows, on it, like say, let's say for 2 weeks. I think the
I'm gonna give it a 3 week to 4 week basis. If they can be good for a month straight,
then that should indicate that
should tell you immediately
that change was needed.
This has changed. Because 1 week of change ain't gonna do nothing.
No, I just feel like it's like, it's good. It's like, but how's it going to hold up to, like, say, going forward?
And honestly, if SmackDown is decent, and SmackDown is good, and it flows as well as Raw did this Monday, I might say, okay.
Yeah, we could tune in.
This could be good. This could be good. This could be something.
Well, you could probably say the same thing with NXT. At the same time, because who knows what Triple H.
I was watching NXT on Tuesday. It wasn't bad either.
That should tell you, like, if SmackDown is good for a few weeks, NXT is good for a few weeks. Same with Raw. You got something there to work with,
something to build with. And the thing is, I trust Triple H more to build onto this than I did with Vince.
Because if you really think about it, because like. Yeah, I mean, we really think about because Triple H was part of that situation himself as a young wrestler. The fact he knows how to connect with some of these young superstars, like a Cora Jade. Who else am I missing? Like a
he knows how to connect with the talent, like Tommaso Ciampa.
Knows how to repackage him.
Tommaso Ciampa, he really connected with.
Oh yeah, or
like guys like Seth Rollins, he connected with. Kevin Owens, he connected with.
Pretty much the Shield,
Roman Reigns, he connected with. Dean Ambrose, he connected with.
I feel it's calling me crazy. I feel like Triple H made Roman Reigns into what Roman Reigns is now.
He made him a star,
and it's like a star. Even at NXT, I feel like he also had because remember Mandy Rose, she was nowhere to be fucking found on the main roster. But when she went to NXT, all that completely changed for Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose.
Oh, Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose was used, on the main roster.
But she was
basically a competitive jobber. That was basically all she was. Competitive jobber.
It was very frustrating because I thought she's had potential.
She has that potential. You see it in her. You see it in her character work. You see it in her look. You see it in the ring. You see it.
And the fact that, went to NXT and it's now
became an instant star. Instant.
It's just like, how?
The thing is, if you watch NXT, if you see other people watching NXT, you know what they talk about? Toxic attraction, and Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I mean that's.
And she's a star, man.
And you also got other great stars too, like Joe Gacy, Tony D'Angelo, Braun Breaker.
Here's the thing, though. That NXT wasn't fronted by Triple H. That wasn't Triple H's thing. That was Vince. The thing is, Vince does have a knack to picking up good talent too. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because Braun Breaker was a good find, great find.
Absolutely.
People like Joe Gacy, awesome find. I think Triple H would have found him. Honestly.
Hell, you could make the same argument he might have found Braun Breaker. And the fact that...
he didn't find Braun Breaker. Vince did.
Well, no, I'm saying like not now, but like...
No, he wouldn't have found him. Vince was just like, oh, he's the son of a wrestler that I had. Let me get him to be a wrestler. Pretty much what Vince did. That was Vince. Can't say Triple H would have found him either. But he would have found Joe Gacy for sure.
Oh yeah, Joe Gacy. That sounds like a Triple H find, along with
he found Fabian Eichner, who's now Giovanni Vinci. Which I love that name. I forgot about that. I freaking love that new name. I like Fabian Eichner, but that Giovanni Vinci name. Honestly, I don't mind that name change. I really don't.
I mean, it's just like
in the character. I like it.
Because now with the new regime, they got a lot of stuff to work with going into the future. I mean, Jesus Christ, who knows how?
Honestly, I'm only going to thank Vince for retooling NXT because he did make it kind of good and made it a development brand again.
Yeah,
I don't mind it. I really don't. I didn't hate it. I mean, I hated it in the beginning, but I don't hate it now. So I will give Vince that.
It's the bright colors. That's all about it is.
That Nickelodeon shit needs to go.
Oh, and this is where I think Triple H.
The thing is, without lighting, it looks like a goddamn Nickelodeon sitcom.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And this is where I will nitpick. And if I'm Triple H, I would definitely repackage Wendy Chu. Like that's the only one person I would definitely would repackage.
They made her a lazy fucking person who wears pajamas and carries a pillow. What the fuck is that?
Like she goes from Kara-Q on the independent scene until now being the lazy wrestler. It's like,
and the thing is, I hated Saray's character change, but honestly, I don't mind it now.
Yeah, I mean,
it gives me anime vibes, and I don't mind it.
Oh, right. Yep,
I don't mind it. I really don't.
It's just like, yeah, like I said, you got stuff to work with, but there's some that you might have to repackage. And
oh my god, Karen-Q needs to start. They need to start with Karen-Q.
Yeah, they had to bring that back.
Let's put her in pussy pajamas and give her a pillow.
That's just like, you cannot be serious.
Have her fall asleep on the top rope. What?
Or like in the backstage images, like she'll like sleep on top of lockers and shit like that. It's like,
or yawn every 2 fucking seconds. Like, what the fuck?
Like it was so cringeworthy. It's like, I was thinking myself, man. Like I said, but I hope she gets repackaged because, good lord. Because
I mean, the thing is, I don't mind the being PG and kid friendly, but they went too kid friendly with her.
That was what you're pushing it.
Like, oh my god, you went like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel type shit.
Well, yeah. So I mean, like we said, I mean, we just thought, kind of talk a little bit here because, like we said, I mean, the fact that WrestleMania is coming back for 2 nights in Philly for the first time, what's been almost 20 years.
Honestly, I literally was saying, I'm like, the wrestling gods hate me.
Oh, they mostly hate you.
First, I lose out on AEW Dynamite in Philly.
Twice.
Now I'm losing WrestleMania. I'm like, shit.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, well, anything can happen from now till 2024 because I could make a trip down. I don't know what I'm doing that day or that weekend.
It's possible. So, like we said,
there could be a slim chance I do go. A slim chance, but.
So
Can I tell you something? Even if I don't make a road trip, want to buy tickets and take a road trip up here, pick my ass up, and go back down.
If I had a car, absolutely.
If you had a car, yeah.
But yeah, so I know we're coming. I know this was actually one of our better episodes. So I mean, the hours probably our longest, but I have other stuff planned later for the night. I know we're
we don't want to hold you up because we got a lot of more content for you guys on Spotlight
especially
Sports
with
Network.
And also, too, I got 2 NFL preseason games coming up in the month of August, so stay tuned for that. Between the Raiders and the Jaguars, and the Eagles and the Cleveland Browns.
Honestly, great games because we want to see. There's a lot of storylines going into that. We want to see if Jalen Hurts developed and if Trevor Lawrence has developed, along with the team that he's going against. So
absolutely,
stay tuned for that.
But in recap, so we're going to give you a quick recap. If Vince retires, which we never saw, which we ever thought was possible.
Honestly, I wake up back to before we recap the rest of the stuff. To honestly put into perspective, every day I wake up, I still think Vince McMahon's still owner.
Yeah,
that's how shocking it is that he's done. And honestly, then I remember, Triple H and Stephanie are on the show now. Yes, and I go about my day.
Yeah, so basically, other than that too, we have a new regime coming in. Like I said, Triple H had a creative.
Stephanie's the CEO. Nick
and there might be
the backup.
And there might be rumors that Paul Heyman might join the creative team as well. So
there's also rumors that Kevin Dunn might be out of there.
Yes, and same with Bruce Pritchard. So, like we said, we don't want to hold our breath until it's actually confirmed. Yep. Like we said, take everything with a grain of salt.
Stay tuned.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll break that down in the next episode as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna cut it. We're gonna end it here because, like I said, I got the WNBA later in about 15 minutes. So at the same time, but I hope you guys enjoyed another edition of the It's Real Me podcast. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.